In this video, we continue our order-to-cash process by posting the customer billing document with reference to the outbound delivery that we posted in the last video. If you check the history of the document that we posted, you can see here that we have created a sales order with the number 714. Then we posted an outbound delivery and we posted our goods issue and we have our material document here. The next step is to post the customer billing document. Welcome to another video in the SAP configuration from zero playlist, where we choose the most important business processes and we configure them from zero until we are able to do the process end to end. We started with the procure to pay process and we posted together a purchase order, a goods receipt and invoice receipt, and we did all the configuration through the process. Then we switched it to the order to cash process and we started with the sales order, then the outbound delivery, goods issue, and now we are at the last step, which is the customer billing document. In order to benefit from this playlist, you have to follow the videos in the same sequence that I published because the configuration steps are in sequence. So in order to follow the playlist, you can go to my website, galalconsulting.com/courses, or you can go to the website, galalconsulting.com, and then from the menu here, courses, you are going to find the SAP configuration course. So click on this, it will take you to this page where you can find this diagram that shows all the videos I have published so far in the playlist in sequence, and any box here is clickable. If you click, it will take you to the video in the playlist on YouTube. Any yellow box is something that you have to watch, and any blue box is a deep dive video that I added if you would like to learn more about any specific topics. We started with the definition of company code, and in the last video we ended here with the goods issue, account determination, and email activation. Today, we continue with the customer billing document. Also, all the configuration and demo done in this playlist are available on my SAP S4HANA server. If you would like to subscribe to my server so you can configure anything you want or check the configuration that I did, you can go to my website, galalconsulting.com/SAP access, and you are going to find all the details here. Now, let's get back to our order to cash process. Here is where we stopped in the last video. So we have created our sales order 714. And then we posted outbound delivery 847, and then we posted the goods issue. Now the next step is to post the customer billing document, and here in sales and distribution there are two available options. Either we post the billing document with reference to the sales order, or we post it with reference to the outbound delivery. It depends on the business needs. Then this is determined through the item category configuration. To see the item category that we used, we can go to our sales order 714, and we have used a standard configuration in the creation of the sales order, and also we have used the standard configuration of item categories. So we have used the order type OR, and we have used the item category TAN. These are standard configuration objects that you can find in any SAP system. So if I go here to the item and then go to the details, we can find here the item category TAN. So this is the item category we used in the sales order, and inside the configuration of the item category, we can find whether the billing document will be with reference to the delivery document or to the sales order itself. So right click here, go to help to display the configuration of the item category, and then go to customizing. And this will show us all the places in the configuration menu where we can configure the item categories. So we can look for something related to sales document item, so this one. And here we have define item categories, so double click here. And you can see this configuration is under sales and distribution, sales, sales document item, define item categories. So let's start the transaction and then display our item category, TAN, standard item, double click here. And here we have the billing relevance. So you see this, if I open the available values, if you have billing relevance A, it means that the billing document is delivery related. So it will be posted with reference to the outbound delivery document. But if you have B, it means that the billing document is order related, which means that we post the billing document with reference to the sales document number or sales order number. So the standard configuration we have for TAN is delivery related billing document. But I also advise you to check this in your system before you proceed with the customer billing document. So now let's go back to our process step of posting the customer billing document. I'm going to get back to the sales order. And now in order to post a billing document, we can go to the transaction VF01. Here we insert the reference document. Since our billing document is with reference to the outbound delivery, then here we need to insert the outbound delivery number. Let me just open /OVA03 and open our sales order to get the outbound delivery number. So if I go here to the history, here is our outbound delivery. So double click here. This is the number. So Control Y, Control C to copy the number. And let's go back to create billing document and we insert here the outbound delivery number. Enter. So now we can proceed with the billing document. In case the billing document is with reference to the sales order number, then we need to insert the sales order number outside. And if we don't follow this, then you get an error that no billing document can be posted. I just want to show you this because I know many people who are learning SAP get blocked at this step because they cannot post the billing document and they do not understand why. So for example, if I get back here to the create billing document /NVF01 and I try to post the billing document with the reference to my sales order, then press enter, you get this error. No billing document were generated, please see log. If you click on OK, then go to log. The item is not relevant for billing. It doesn't really explain why this is happening because nothing is wrong here. You try to post a billing document with reference to the sales order and the item category in the sales order is not relevant to billing with reference to sales order. So SAP didn't invoice anything. This is why you need to be careful when posting the billing document. Now, according to my configuration, I should post with reference to the outbound delivery. So if I insert the outbound delivery here, press enter, it will work. Now, we can proceed directly and post the billing document, or if you would like to check the conditions, check the different details that have been copied from the sales order, then you can do so. Then click on post after you are done. And let's see if we get any errors. So post. Document saved. So the billing document has been saved, but we have an error in account determination. If I go to help, it will not explain much because you cannot see the error here. It just tells you there is something wrong. Then if I want to see what happened, so let's display the billing document or go to change mode and then click on the flag icon here. And this will show us if there are any errors. So you see the document is saved, but there is an error in account determination. In order to analyze this error, we can go here to environment, account determination analysis, revenue accounts, and this will show us which revenue accounts have not been determined. Now remember that when we post a billing document, if you have watched already the business process video, then you know that once we post the billing document, there is an accounting entry that will post to the customer, revenue account, and any taxes. And here we can find the different details for the account determination. So first we have this item that has no description. So this one is not relevant to us. And then we have the item 0010. So this is the sales item that we have in our sales order. If we open here, we can find our price condition PR00, which is used to determine the revenue account. And if I click on this line, it will open the different sequences that SAP has checked in order to determine the GL account. We can also see a summary on the right here. So the GL account found, no GL account found an account determination. This is the summary. SAP was not able to determine a revenue account using the accounting entry. So it is completely normal that no accounting document has been generated. In order to fix this, we have to maintain the account determination. All of this has been explained in detail in the SD account determination playlist. It is a full playlist that I created several years ago on the YouTube channel that explains from zero how to configure the account determination for SD with all the related details. So if you watch the other playlist, you will be able to understand completely everything that we have here. In order to proceed with our demo, as promised, we are going to configure together the revenue account now in a very fast way in order to proceed with the process. But if you would like to deep dive into the account determination and understand all the details, you have to check the playlist. And I'm going to add it to the course diagram on my website, okay? So these are the access sequence numbers. And in order to maintain the account determination for sales and distribution, we go to transaction VKOA. I'm not going to go into the details of where to find it in the configuration menu because all of this is explained in the other playlist. Now, here I can maintain the account determination in the different tables. You see here in the billing document, we have the table general, we also have the table account key, and we have the table sales organization item category account. The most simple one to use is the general or the account key, so this is what I'm going to maintain now. So the account key is this one and the general is this one. So double click on the account key one, for example. And the account key that is attached to PR00 is ERL. This can be seen in the pricing procedure configuration. This is all standard configuration, okay? So now I'm going to maintain another line for my sales org. So here I can click on new entries, or I can just copy one of the entries that we have here. So sales organization is AG60. Chart of account is AG00. This is the chart of account assigned to our company code that we configured together. And the GL account I will use is 400,000. I'm going to show you the GL account master data now, so you can also create it on your own system if you want. So here we have maintained the account determination for the revenue account. Now let's save and add it to a transport request. Okay, and then we go back. Before we proceed with the billing document, let me show you the master data of this GL account, so /O FS00. So this is our revenue account, which means that it is a primary cost or revenue account. It belongs to the account group revenues in my configuration. In your system, you can choose another group. It depends on what you configured. And then here we have the short text sales revenue, and the GL account long text is sales revenue also. If you go here to control data, we have our account currency EUR. Tax category is all, so this is very important that it accepts the output tax at least, or you put an asterisk, so this way it accepts all of them. And posting without tax allowed, I also check this because in my testing system, I don't want to test anything related to taxes now. So I allow the GL account to accept all taxes or no taxes at all. So you have to check these two. Otherwise, you will get an error that the GL account doesn't accept an output tax, or the GL account cannot be posted to without taxes, and so on. Whenever you are testing anything on SAP and you do not care about taxes, then in all your GL accounts, you should check tax category asterisks and posting without tax allowed. This way, you'll not be blocked by taxes. And then if you go here to create bank interest, the field status group is G029. This is the standard field status group that you can use also in your system. So this is the GL account master data. Now let's go back to our billing document. So let's go back. And now I am back to VF02, where I'm changing the billing document. And again, I can click on release and see if SAP is going to show an error. So now we have another error, which means that SAP was able now to determine the GL account that we maintained. But now we get another error that the GL account to 11,000 is not defined in company code AG60. First, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to check what is this GL account. To do this, we can go to FS00 again, and we can insert the GL account number to understand what this is. So it doesn't exist in my company code, but it is an output VAT payable account. So this is a VAT account that's created in the chart of account, but it's not created in my company code. So I need to maintain this GL account in order to proceed with the process, even though our billing document doesn't have any taxes, but the GL account must be maintained. So I'm going to copy the GL account from another company code, AG00, to 11,000. So this is a balance sheet account. It is the output VAT GL account, so it is a balance sheet. It is a liabilities account because this is the taxes that we have to pay to the government, so it is a liability. Description is output VAT. If you go here to control data, so the account currency is euro. I have not maintained any other fields. Create bank interest. I am using the field status group G013. Now let's save. And let's go back to our billing document and release again. Field text is required field for GL account to 11,000. So the field text is required. The reason this is required is because of the field status group. So if I check here the error, so these are random errors that you can find or you may not find on your system. It depends on the different details you are using. But as promised, any error we find throughout the demo, we solve together. So now this error, field text is a required field for GL account to 11,000. The value for field text in the interface of financial accounting is an initial value, but you are required to make an entry. You see here, it might be an error in the configuration of the GL account field selection. So this means that you need to adjust your field status group. either use a field status group that doesn't require this field, or you change the field status group configuration to make this field optional. Of course, you should not change the standard field status groups. In this case, you copy the field status group into your own and you modify it as you want. Or you find a way to have the text field filled in the billing document if this is a needed business process requirement. In my case, it is not a needed requirement, so I'm going to change the field status group that we have in the Galal account to another one that does not require the text. So I will go back to FS00 to 11,000. So whenever you find any error like this, that a field is required for the Galal account, it means that you can change the field status group. Change. This is for the test system. If you are in a real life system, then you need to evaluate whether this is a valid requirement or not. So if this field is really needed, then you need to find a way to fill it, okay? So now I can check the field status groups here. There is another one that is general without text required. So if you check here, we have used G013. So instead of this, I'm going to use G001. So general with text and assignment. Save. And if you check here the mandatory fields, so you can double click on this field status group, and here you can find all the different fields and whether they are required or optional. I have already explained all of this also in another video on the channel, explaining what is the field status group, how it is configured, how it is assigned to the field status variant, and how the different fields can be required, optional, or hidden. So I will also add this other video in the course diagram on the website if you would like to deep dive into this topic, okay? So now let's go back. So all I did is changing the field status group to another one that does not require text. And let's go back to our billing document and again try to release. And it's done. So now you see we do not have any errors. So if I click on OK, and I can either click on accounting, this will show the accounting document, or go to the history here, and this will show the full history of this document. So we have the standard order 714, we have our outbound delivery 847, and then we have our invoice or pro forma invoice. So this is the invoice type F8. If we would like to create an invoice, then it should be the invoice type F2. And then here, this is 367, and we have our journal entry. And this is all what I need for my simple order to cash process. So if I double click on the accounting entry here, you see the accounting entry is a debit to the customer account. So this is the reconciliation account that we have added in the customer master data. If you remember from the master data creation video, so the account 141000, and then we have on the credit, the sales revenue account, which is 400,000, the one that we maintain today in VKOA. And we do not have any lines for the output tax, but SAP has asked us to maintain the output tax account anyway, because here we are using the tax code A0, which is 0 taxes, but inside the configuration of this tax code, there is a Galal account that is maintained. You can find this in the transaction FTXP. So what I'm going to explain now is something very related to finance. It's not related to our simple process, but I'll just show you quickly where the account to 11,000 is coming from, so to answer your future questions. If you would like to deep dive into the topic of taxes, there is another playlist also on the channel that explains the taxes. I'm going to add also to the diagram if you would like to deep dive to understand how the tax code is determined and how the Galal accounts are determined and so on. But just for the sake of our quick demo, to show you end to end where all the configuration objects come from, you can go to transaction FTXP. So this is the transaction where we configure tax codes. Then for the country region, I will insert FR. And here we have the tax code A0. So this is the tax code that we have in our process, enter. And then from here, we can go to tax accounts, chart of account that we assign to our company code AG00. And here is our account. So the account was determined from here, and this is why SAP has asked us to maintain this account when posting the billing document, even though there is no tax, but because the tax code is mentioned in the transaction. And this is it for the taxes. So if we go back to our history, we can see all the different steps that we did in our simple order to cash process. So we started with the sales order, outbound delivery, goods issue, invoice, and then the accounting entry for the invoice. we had to configure everything from zero, starting from the organization structure, the sales area, so sales organization, division, distribution channel, going into the document types, then creating the sales order, creating the different master data needed, and so on. If you'd like to see all the steps that we did, you can go to the diagram that we have on the website. You see, I'm very proud of what we did so far. It wasn't easy to explain all of this in real life demo and to solve all the different errors, but I hope that you find this useful. The main objective that I have from this playlist is to teach you how to find your way around the system on your own and how to solve any errors you get in the process. I check all of your comments and I see sometimes you share other errors that I did not show in the playlist because not all the errors will appear on my system. There are things that are already configured and so on. And my response is always the same. Follow the same steps that we do whenever we find any error. You go to help, you go to the customizing button. If there is a table, you can go to SM30 and display the table and you will be able to find your way around. I'm still not done with this playlist. I still have many other ideas, but I need your help here. So first, I want you to leave me a comment and let me know whether this playlist is useful and whether I should continue this playlist or switch to other topics. And the second thing is, I want you to help me decide which business process to do next. So I can either do intercompany, so we can see together again all the configuration steps to do a simple intercompany process, or I can switch to more advanced processes in purchasing and sales, such as consignment, subcontracting, or I can switch to other things like fixed assets and so on, which I think will be less interesting because these are very related to finance. I try to stay in the area of integration between material management, sales, and finance, so this way everyone can learn. So let me know in the comments which business process I should do next in this playlist. Do not forget to share the video with your connections, subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave me your comments. If you would like to support all of this effort and be a part of the journey, then you can check the channel membership program on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/@AbdullahGalal/join and you will find all the details. This will allow you to get access to the member exclusive videos, documents, and our private Slack group where you can chat with me and the other members of the channel. Also, if you would like to get access to an SAP S4HANA testing system, then you can go to my website, galalconsulting.com/SAP access, and you will find all the details on how to subscribe to the same server I'm using for my demos and for my configuration. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.